On Saturday the 27th of May, I headed back to the Alton Towers Resort to vlog the Mardi Gras event and also the grand reopening of Nemesis Subterra. But things didn't go exactly to plan. I could only be in the park for a few hours, but I thought that would be enough to get on the ride and check out all the updates from across the park. I was wrong. Subterra broke down on me twice whilst I was in the queue, and the second time they evacuated the whole queue as they thought it would be down for the remainder of the day. This was after I had waited an hour. So I didn't get to ride Subterra, which was a huge shame. I mean, the queue was pretty cool, but that's all I got to see. But I still wanted to share all the updates from across the park with you, but just in a different format than I would usually do. So see this as a vlog that isn't a vlog, if that makes sense. And if this format does work, then maybe I'll stick to doing this again in future. You'll just have to let me know what you think. So before we get started, if you do enjoy watching, then please hit that like button to let me know. And if you are new around here, then please consider hitting that subscribe button, ringing that notification bell so you don't miss a single thing, because we make plenty of theme park and adventure videos here, which you don't want to miss. So I started off the day by heading to Nemesis Subterra for the grand reopening of this ride, which closed back in 2015. I would love to give you my thoughts, but as you already know, that can't happen at this time. But I'm sure I'll be back at the park soon, and when I do finally get to ride it, I'll give you a full review here on the channel. However, the screens around the queue line made the wait a little more bearable, as it really hypes you up for the ride and lets you know about the current Nemesis and Phalanx storyline.
Recent discoveries at this site have prompted Phalanx to upgrade its security status to Category 1. These discoveries represent an astonishing research opportunity for this and future generations. Safe access is now guaranteed for both scientific personnel and civilian visitors.
The queue line itself moved very slowly. It was advertised as a 90-minute wait time, but friends I spoke to said they waited 2 hours. I'm pretty sure that this will die down as the weeks go on. This was the Saturday and the opening day, so it was expected. But if you visit and see that the queue is an hour plus, just know that you'll be stood in the same spot for ages due to the nature of the ride. But as they let 40 guests in at one time, when the queue does finally move, you do move quite a lot. But that was just my personal experience anyway, it may be different for you. Nemesis Subterra isn't the only new addition to Forbidden Valley. Well, kind of new. You know what I mean. There is now a Phalanx merchandise stand. Yes, that is right, you can now buy Phalanx caps, shirts, hoodies, mugs and pin badges. And I'll tell you now, they all look fantastic. I bought the pin badge because theme park pin badges are something I collect, but all the Phalanx merchandise looks great. Sometimes theme park merch can look a little bit tacky, but this is not the case with this new Phalanx merch. Okay, so that's all I can give you on Subterra and the Phalanx. I also went onto the Nemesis viewing platform again, but there wasn't anything too different from when I was last there earlier in May, but I believe the final inversion has now been installed. So now let's talk about Mardi Gras. This is one of my favourite events at Alton Towers. The first year was fantastic, last year was okay, but this year I thought the atmosphere was the best out of all 3 years. I was very sceptical about the layout of the stages. In previous years, the stages have been spread out all over the different areas in the park, but this year they were all in front of the towers where the food vendors are. And each hour throughout the day, all the different crews come together and have a big dance all at the same time. And I thought it worked really well. Having all the dancing, music, food, and also the Mardi Bar all in one place, it created a great atmosphere, especially as it was very hot and sunny as well. The thing with Mardi Gras is that you kind of need it to be a busy day at the park to create that atmosphere. If there's no guests, it just kind of takes away that party vibe. But honestly, I really loved the entertainment this year, and I think it worked really well all in that one spot. They even had another stage of musicians, and then further down where Spinball Whizzer is, there was another stage, another bar, and some photo ops. And that's another thing, the photo ops this year were amazing, so many compared to previous years, and they all looked incredible. What I would say though is that it would be great to have that main stage open on the lawn area for Mardi Gras. It's such a huge stage, but it's just kind of sat there at the moment, not being used. The lawn area over the past few years has been the perfect place to chill out in the sun and watch entertainment. But this year so far, there's been no shows or anything going on, and the tables are no longer on the lawn either. So people were just sat on the grass, which is fine, but it would be nice to have some seating again, and seeing as there were multiple stages in that one area, it would have been nice to instead put those musicians on that big stage on the lawn. That's just my thoughts anyway. In terms of food options available at Mardi Gras this year, there was plenty to choose from. A few less options than last year I believe, but there was still plenty to choose from. Still rather expensive, ranging from around £8 to £10, but it was better than your traditional Alton Towers food like hot dogs, so it's worth paying that little bit extra. I had the sausage mac and cheese, which was actually a hot dog mac and cheese with crispy onions, and let me tell you now, it was incredible. I know it's just a simple mac and cheese with cut up hot dog, but it was amazing and I would recommend trying it if you're heading to the event. A solid 4 out of 5 from me. It lost a point due to the price being £8, which is a little bit pricey in my opinion. If I was to rate Mardi Gras this year, I would probably give it a strong 7 out of 10. The only reason it loses marks is because some of the food stores which I previously loved weren't there this year because some of the stages on Food Street had taken up those spots. But as I said, there was still plenty of options available, and the food that was available was really tasty. It also loses a few marks because even though it was great having all the stages in one area, in previous years having stages in different areas around the park, it really brought that area to life. Especially with the Voodoo crew in Fountain Square. That space is just for guests to walk through currently, especially with Hex being closed. So it would have been nice to put something there again, but I did think it worked better overall, having the stages in one area. So Mardi Gras 2023 gets a 7 out of 10 from me. It was a really strong year for the events, and I'm sure it's going to keep growing over the next few years too. So it was a very mixed day at Alton Towers for me. I was very disappointed with how Subterra was operated. I mean, there's always going to be teething issues when a ride opens, but I just didn't expect there to be so many issues on the opening day. It is a shame, but I'm sure I'll be back at the park soon to ride it. Although that was disappointing, Mardi Gras was great this year, so that made the day for me. Operations for the other rides seemed really good as well. I managed to get on the Smiler within 10 minutes, which was very unexpected for how busy the day was. So overall, a very mixed day at the park. But that is it for this video. If you did enjoy the format of this video, then please let me know. It's very different from what I was planning on doing. I mean, I filmed a whole vlog at Alton Towers yesterday, but I thought this would work a little bit better. So if you enjoyed it, then I might do this again in future. Also, let me know in the comments if you have experienced the new Subterra, because I would love to know your thoughts. If you want to check out our vlog from earlier in May at Alton Towers, where we showed all the other updates from across the park, then click this video right here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you in the next one.